Hey, good evening, Wiregrass, and welcome to the Napa Trojan Auto Parts Preview Show. We got a great show for you tonight. We want to thank everybody that tuned in this past Friday night. Had an overwhelming crowd. A lot of people tuned in to see the Luverne Tigers and Highland Home Flying Squadron play in a regional championship de facto matchup. Highland Home coming out with the victory. We're going to have a few highlights from that game. We want to let everyone know that our hearts go out. We were supposed to be in Dothan this weekend watching the Dothan versus Northview game, potentially the last game in that exciting rivalry. Due to some of the conditions following Hurricane Michael, that game was postponed until Saturday. We appreciate everybody that donated. We had a link up several times during the telecast for people to have the opportunity to donate to the Red Cross and help out, and we appreciate everyone's contributions that chipped into that. That game was made up Saturday. Northview came out 17-7 winners. If you'd still like to help the people affected in that, you'll see the link up below. All the contributions go directly to the Red Cross and to help all the people, not only in the Wiregrass, but the Panhandle of Florida, rebuild from this tragic event. But we want to congratulate Northview on the 17-7 win over Dothan, and our apologies again to those fans down there that we were unable to attend. It was a great opportunity. We want to thank the Crenshaw County School System for allowing us to come and cover the matchup between the Luverne Tigers and Highland Home. It was a very hard-fought back-and-forth game. Came down to an onside kick with under 40 seconds to go. Without further ado, I'll let you see some highlights of that game that we have for you, and we'll be right back from some other scores around the Wiregrass action.
I like the coach's decision to let Brantley try to throw it again there and shake off the last play as he gets it outside, this time to number 5. Number 5 with a lot of speed, cuts up around the 20, looking for the pylon. We're looking for a signal. No signal yet. Touchdown Luverne. Now the signals. They go up 6-0. The situation, first down and 10, 25-yard line. Highland Home on the move here to give to number 5. He cuts back to the left. He's got room. He's going to try to drag a couple Luverne defenders. He's across the goal line. That's going to be a touchdown for Highland Home. And 2 wide receivers to each side here. Looking to throw. Got a man open. That ball's tipped and then caught on the deflection by number 3 from Highland Home. And he's got a lot of green grass in front of him. It's a foot race down the left-hand sideline. He's inside the 10 and a touchdown, 80-yard touchdown pass there. Same type goal line formation here with a double wing. Quarterback under center. Little miscommunication there. They try to give it at number 5 on the sweep, and he walks in untouched for the Highland Home touchdown. Luverne in the shotgun formation. They're going to give it to number 5. He's looking for room and diving across the line, and he's in. They're going to send a man in motion. They're going to fake the speed sweep and give it to number 5 around the right side, and he's got running room as he crosses midfield and streaking down the right sideline. Couple men trying to get an angle on him, but it's not going to happen. One play touchdown. That's over 60 yards. High booming kick that time, end over end, going to be taken right around the 2-yard line. He's looking for blocking up the middle, and he's got some. He's across the 30, cross midfield. One man to beat him, not going to beat him. Number 24 trying to track him down as he crosses the 20, but that's going to be a 99-yard kickoff return touchdown for Luverne, and ball signaled ready to play here. Clock moves again. They got the shotgun snap, rolling to his left, going to throw it out here over the defender, number 1 with a catch in space. He's across the 40, got first down yardage, trying to escape, and he does. He's across the 30 now to the 20, picks up 2 very good blocks, makes a man miss. Flag down on the play as he's going to dive for the pylon. Touchdown Tigers, but there's a flag down around the 25-yard line. Another flag comes down here, possibly a sportsmanship call on the Highland Home player, arguing as the Luverne player's down. So we have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike against the squadron for a hit to the head. But we also have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike against the Tigers. But the touchdown is good. That is a key aspect of this drive, the 2 dead ball. Here's we watch the replay again. The quarterback was scrambling to his left. He makes a throw. Great attempt to make the defensive play there by the squadron secondary. Then a great individual effort has been the case all night. Number 1 making several people miss. As he comes to the middle of the field here, I want you to watch as 2 Luverne Tigers pick up big blocks right here to set him. Here comes the first one. Good block in the front right there. Then a second good block is going to be in the back right there. Number 1 makes this guy miss. Great job there. And then it's a sprint to the end zone as he dives for the pylon to secure the touchdown for the Tigers.
So Highland Home, the big winner in that area matchup, 28-31. Your victor there, great action, great crowd. Very thankful to be there. A lot of views, a lot of comments. We appreciate everyone who joined us on short notice for that great game. As we mentioned, Northview gets the win Saturday night, 17-7 over Dothan. And in our matchup this week, we're going to have the Ayrton Purple Cats and the GW Long Rebels. Ayrton actually setting history. They're the first team that we know of in state history to play on a Monday night and a Friday night. We'll have a little bit more discussion about that with their coach in a few minutes. But Ayrton last night with the big 53-0 win over Barber County. GW Long also coming off a win as they win 24-15 over Houston County. In other action, Geneva County 40-27 winners over Cottonwood. Headland 41-7 big winners over Ashford. Houston Academy 37-28 winners over Geneva. Goshen 34-0 winners over Calhoun. The Kinston Bulldogs 20-14 winners over Pleasant Home. Pike County 32-10 winners over Slocum. Wicksburg 27-14 over Strawn. The Zion Chapel Rebels 27-12. They keep winning against Central. CCA with a 28-0 win over Wilcox, and the Pike Liberal Arts Patriots fall 28-0 to Monroe, their first loss of the season. In another de facto championship, regional championship game in 1A, the Elba Tigers fell to Georgiana 35-27. Trinity 10-0 winners over Dale County. Charles Henderson gets a big win, 17-7 over Carroll. And the Brantley Bulldogs with a big homecoming 53-14 win over Red Level. You'll see a few other scores scrolling across the bottom. We're going to take a short break. We're going to have a coach from Ayrton join us right after this break. We're going to have a few words from him. We plan on getting a call in from Dale County's coach. We look forward to that. Hope you'll stay with us. We're on the Napa Trojan Auto Parts Preview Show.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Napa Know-How.
When you want the best for your pet, choose Southern Animal Hospital and Pet Resort. Our passionate and dedicated staff will make your pet feel as if they were at home. We are a full-service small animal hospital covering all areas of veterinary medicine. Dr. Steve Barron makes sure that all clients are well-informed and satisfied with services. We are equipped with an indoor boarding facility, surgery suite, laboratory, digital X-ray, and ultrasound. Choose the best care possible for the ones you love dearest with Southern Animal Hospital and Pet Resort.
Hook's Barbecue, down-home barbecue in a counter-served setting, located on Emma Drive off of Highway 231 in Troy, Alabama.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
Your she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shed?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Burris Gracie today.
Total Lawn Care Plus is your one-stop shop for lawn care, landscape, pressure washing, handyman work, and more. Licensed and insured with over 7 years commercial experience. Dozens of satisfied customers in Pike and 4 surrounding counties.
And welcome back to the Napa Trojan Auto Parts Preview Show. We're thrilled tonight to be joined with a coach from Ayrton, Coach Chuck Dunn. He's Ayrton's defensive coordinator. We're going to let him tell you a little bit about himself, but he's also their women's basketball coach, runs that program down there. He's also over their strength and conditioning. We thank him for coming out tonight. Coach Dunn, thank you so much for joining us on this preview show.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background there at Ayrton.
Well, you know, I'm a Pike County guy. I grew up in Banks. My dad was a chicken farmer and rural mail carrier, and you know, grew up in Banks my whole life. I went to Pike Liberal Arts, graduated from there, and you know, one of them guys, you know, what you're going to do when you grow up and get in college, and I went here to college, and I met a guy that got me hooked up with Coach Blakeney, and I started student coaching with him, and I did that from 94 to 96 when they were in the 1AAs, and I graduated there in 97, and Charles Henderson hired me for the first time. I was actually there twice, and was there for 3 years, and then Troy's first year of Division I in 2001, that spring before, Coach Blakeney called me and asked me to come be the defensive graduate assistant, and I jumped on that, you know, and came back, and I did that for a year and a half, and then when that fall was over with, that spring, I met Bill Clark, who everybody knows, you know, he's the head coach at UAB right now.
Right.
And
we're definitely familiar with him
that
here.
That kind of got me escalated. I met Coach Clark, and Coach Clark had been at Prout for about 3 years, and I met Coach Clark, and we just kind of hit it off, and he offered me a job, and I went to Prout. I was there from 01 to 08, 6 seasons total. I was the head strength coach for over 500 athletes that I loved dearly to do, and I was the linebacker coach for them, and I was there, you know, won a lot of football games, great football, and you know, my coaching time kind of went from there, and after we got done in 07, when we won that second state championship, Coach Clark got the defense coordinator job in South Alabama, and he asked me and another guy to go with him to South Alabama. And, you know, and that was the hard thing. I just got married and had my first child, and you know, because, you know, it's a big step. Am I going to step into college football? You know, that's a whole nother animal in itself, you know, and my wife agreed. Anyway, went to South Alabama. I was there 4 years. Something I'm very proud of. I was, you know, that first ever staff in school history.
That's right.
I was the first ever strength coach and outside linebacker coach for them, and something I'm very proud of. And I did that for 4 years, and then John Gross, who's the head coach of Jacksonville State now, he was at Oxford High School, and he called me and asked me to come be a defense coordinator, and we moved up there, me and my wife, and we owned my first child, and I need to stop and say my beautiful wife, Winnie Dunn, and I had 2 sons, Gardner Dunn and Brian Dunn. They're 5th grade and 1st grade at Ayrton. But had a great time there, coached some great football players. We lost to Hoover in the semifinals. Quan Alexander, who's starting linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, was on our team.
Right.
And then after that, Coach Clark, you know, got the Jacksonville State job, and went to Jacksonville State with him. And we were only there 1 year because then Coach Clark got the UAB job.
Right.
And I thought that was going to be it for us moving, because by that time I'd already had my second child. And but you know, Division I football. And when I left Prattville, the goal of me and Coach Clark and another coach was to get in Division I football.
Right.
And it was the opportunity, and went there and loved it. We were there in Birmingham for a year and a half, but.
Unfortunately, that program.
It will be a story one day.
Yes, sir.
It will be a movie of how that happened and went down. But when that happened, my wife was teaching at Hoover High School at that time, and we didn't want to leave Birmingham. But the good Lord, you know, I kind of prayed about it, and you know, it just took me a long time to talk about where I started and where I am now.
Right.
And you know, I need to be a dad. I sat down with Coach Clark, and he kind of had an idea that program would come back eventually. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's different, him and his contract and mine. So, you know, I kind of couldn't really base that. And we're talking with him and my wife and other close people. You know, I want to come be a dad. So we moved back home. And, you know, this is 4 years now we've been here. I came back to go to Charles Henderson. I was at Charles Henderson as a defense coordinator and head strength coach. And had a great time. A lot of great kids that I love dearly. Matter of fact, I went to the Charles Henderson game Friday. I'm still in contact with a lot of kids.
Supportive of those
guys.
Love
all them kids. And Coach McCoy is doing a good job. And, you know, Ayrton was something that I really didn't know. You know, me and Stephen Kilcrease kind of go into this. Yeah, I'm older than him. I kind of coached him in basketball at Pike Lib way back. And, you know, coaching his health issues and it being a farmer. And we just kind of started talking one day about it. And, you know, when a friend asks you to come do something.
Sometimes you do it.
And, you know, with his health and the chicken business, you know, things were kind of hard for him. And sat down with my wife and, you know, it was just a family decision. You know,
right.
I hated to tell Charles Anderson, but I did. And long story short, I love it. Last year was my first year. You know, my kids are there now.
Right.
And I still live here, bought a house here. So,
right.
you know, the plan is my boys are active in all the recreation sports. So I love Troy.
Right.
I love Troy. I love the people here. My family's here. My friends are here. But Ayrton is an unbelievable school to be at.
Well, this is the second game we've had Ayrton this year, and we obviously keep up with them every single week. You know, obviously this game, you guys played last night, a big win.
Yeah.
But they're very fortunate to have you, and that's an amazing story that you just shared with us. I was at Troy University, Troy State,
I'm Troy State.
Yeah, the season that you're talking about and the inaugural run-up when you were back as a grad assistant. And so to be a part of that, I believe South Alabama at that time was actually only a club team. And so to be a part of all that, it's extremely impressive. And I'm sure that Ayrton's very fortunate to have you as a defense coordinator and strength and conditioning coach. So we saw you guys' very first game of the season when you guys played Dale County. I misspoke a minute ago. Y'all are playing GW Long this week, so forgive me for that. How since week one, you know, of you guys and Coach Gilcrease, what type of changes have you seen? What type of growth with your team, and what are you still trying to accomplish at this point?
I think we've grown. I think we've matured. You know, this team from last year, you know, we sat down, me and Coach Gilcrease, and we sat down and, you know, we needed, number one, to challenge this team. You know, and number one, as well as the off-season workouts we did, we need to challenge them with our non-region games.
Right.
And not knocking who they've had, but
definitely a much tougher schedule this year.
You know, and with me handling the defense and Coach Gilcrease handles the offense, you know, we both said, well, you know, we lost 2 games last year. One was to an unbelievable Goshen team and to a great Leroy team, who Leroy played for state championship.
Yes.
And we lost both those games because they were the 2 best quarterbacks we saw all year at all, heads above everybody else. And, you know, that was the ultimate downfall in those 2 games was the quarterback play.
Right.
So we tried to find 3. We knew we were going to play Goshen again, but so we were looking. So we went with Dale County and Slocum. You know, Dale County, the athletes they have.
Yes.
4A school.
4A school.
A very athletic quarterback. And then Slocum, you know, which I know they've lost to Pike County and lost. You know, that quarterback down there is a really good football player.
Yes.
So from Dale County's loss to today, we have matured. You know, me and Coach kept telling this team that the sky's the limit for this team.
Right.
They really don't know how good they could be.
Right.
We really believe last night's game and little bits of the Abbeville game, we showed how physical we could be and the toughness that we knew this team had. And last night's game, regardless of what Barber County's schedule, you know, roster, great talent.
Absolutely.
Very skilled players,
Yeah.
but we
nobody questions that.
dominated that game,
Yes, sir.
and like we're supposed to.
Right.
But this team has grown, it's matured. You know, we're young. We only have 8 seniors.
Right. Yeah, you guys are going to be
juniors.
good. You're here to stay.
But we had a lot of young players that are mature, and that's just football. But we had a 7-game stretch from Dale County to Abbeville of a tough road.
Yes,
and
sir.
that's what we wanted, you know, because it was going to get you, you know, knock on wood, staying healthy was going to get you better. And the football that I've been around, Coach Gilcrease, you know, playing good competition will get you there. And you know, Barber County is what it is. You know, it was there, and then, you know, getting ready for GW Long and Cottonwood is going to be the last 2 tough region games.
So, Coach, if you would, obviously coming off of the big win last night, but as we talked about early in the show, you know, this is an unprecedented situation where you guys are going to turn around and play another football game 4 days, technically 3 days, if you want to look at only 3 days in between, you know, with Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. How do you get the kids refocused? How do you get them healthy? You know, what's the game plan? And you can speak a little bit, too, if you would, to preparing for GW Long specifically in that quick turnaround.
Well, number one, you know, in my short time being here, you know, from Prattville Stanhope rival to South Alabama Troy rival to Jack State rivals to Charleston and Pike County rivals. This Ayrton GW Long rival is a serious rival in every sport. You know.
So they don't need much motivation.
No, and so, you know, I put some little motivation on the board. That's the game. I had them come in and look at in the other room. And you know, the handouts I gave them at the game, you know. But we, you know, going back to your question, you know, we got them out of there quick as we could last night and had to come back today. And, you know, I don't care if you play Friday and you're practicing Saturday or you're a college team that plays Saturday and you're, you know, today really cannot be much of mental work, conditioning, you know, to get that soreness where the soreness don't build up, and a good workout. So we came in today. The kids were all there, ready to go, excited. We had a great film session, great mental part of the game, you know, on both sides of football and special teams, and then we finished with some conditioning and weights and got them out of here. You know, tomorrow will really be our only you know, tough physical day.
Right.
You know, and you know, and then Thursday will be a Thursday before Friday.
Right.
But the thing about this team, you know, with I guess the only positive, with others kind of worrisome about being your rival, but you know, worries is they played Friday, we played last night, so you know they have more time to prepare, you know, minds and bodies, you know. But our kids know each player.
That's right.
Their kids know our players.
The rivalry, it also speaks to the familiarity. So you won't, you guys know what they have. You know what to look for.
Yeah, we just got, and I know they're doing the same thing. You know, just touching on what they're going to do, what they've done on both sides of the ball, and you know, and I, again, this is a great rival in every sport.
Boy,
you know, I had found, and last year, you know, when I got here last year, you know, I heard about certain games, but I was told, you know, Coach Dunn, you better be able to stop people against GW Long. And you know, before last year, they had won eight games in a row, and they were, you know, just being honest, you know, the score was pretty high to nothing.
Yes.
And you know, last year we won 47-7. Had a great game last year, but you know, that was last year. This year, you know, they're a different team. We're a different team.
That's right.
You know, our kids are very motivated. You know, they had a great attitude today. And again, tomorrow's going to be our tough day, but just like I'm pretty sure Coach Horn's telling their guys, I mean, they're excited. We're going to be excited.
Right.
You know, so. And
we know that the records, statistics, things like that don't matter in a rivalry game. It really can come down to anything in that matchup, especially high school football, which is so great about it. Well, Coach, we're super excited to be down there Friday night. We'll be live 7 o'clock to cover that matchup. Again, Ayrton GW Long. We're going to take a short break. We're going to have a word from our sponsors. We're going to come back. We're going to have a coach from GW Long call in. We look forward to hearing what he's got to say. Stay with us. We'll be back after this very short break.
South Alabama Stockyard, now under new ownership, is still family owned and operated by cattle farmers right here in Southeast Alabama. Come every Thursday at 1 p.m. and join the best buyers and sellers from all over the area. Whether you come for the experience, looking at getting into the cattle business, or maintaining your farm and growing, South Alabama Stockyard is where all the farmers are. Vendors are on site every auction, so come on and have lunch with us. Located at 268 County Road 5522, Troy, Alabama.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
When you want the best for your pet, choose Southern Animal Hospital and Pet Resort. Our passionate and dedicated staff will make your pet feel as if they were at home. We are a full-service small animal hospital covering all areas of veterinary medicine. Dr. Steve Barron makes sure that all clients are well-informed and satisfied with services. We are equipped with an indoor boarding facility, surgery suite, laboratory, digital X-ray, and ultrasound. Choose the best care possible for the ones you love dearest with Southern Animal Hospital and Pet Resort.
Hook's Barbecue, down-home barbecue in a counter-served setting, located on Emma Drive off of Highway 231 in Troy, Alabama.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
Your she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shed?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Burris Gracie today.
Total Lawn Care Plus is your one-stop shop for lawn care, landscape, pressure washing, handyman work, and more. Licensed and insured with over 7 years commercial experience. Dozens of satisfied customers in Pike and 4 surrounding counties.
South Alabama Stockyard, now under new ownership, is still family owned and operated by cattle farmers right here in Southeast Alabama. Come every Thursday at 1 p.m. and join the best buyers and sellers from all over the area. Whether you come for the experience, looking at getting into the cattle business, or maintaining your farm and growing, South Alabama Stockyard is where all the farmers are. Vendors are on site every auction, so come on and have lunch with us. Located at 268 County Road 5522, Troy, Alabama.
Hey, welcome back to the Napa Trojan Auto Parts Preview Show. We're here joined by GW Long coach Scott Horn. We appreciate him joining us tonight. Coach, how are you doing? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, I'm doing good. I appreciate y'all having me on tonight. Yeah, I've been up here. This is my 14th year up here, 22nd overall coaching, and been started off at Pike County right there by y'all for my first year in '97, and then went to Daleville for 7 or 8 years, and then I've been here at Long since then, and got a little boy and a little girl. Reagan's 9 and Grant's 13, and my wife, she works in Dothan City School. So we're a education family and just love what we do, trying to serve the Lord and serve these kids and try to make them better people and better athletes.
Well, Coach, thank you again for joining us, and thank you for what you do both in the education field and, raising these young men both on and off the field. A lot of people don't understand the sacrifices that you guys make, so we definitely appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about the GW Long this season and things you're working on, and let us know, what you're focused on this week headed into this rivalry game.
Well, we've, we're playing a lot of young guys. We were just talking before I come on here. We've probably got 10 or 11 starters that are 10th grade and below. And, when you're in 2A school, you're going to hit runs where you have good classes and classes that aren't, as many athletes in it. We had a 2 or 3 year run there where we were in the semifinals back-to-back seasons, and, those kids are gone, and now we're having to rebuild from our 9th grade classes. And, with Ayrton being a senior heavy team and a lot of experience, that poses a challenge for you when you've got more advanced and more physically capable athletes than what, a senior just has a lot more ability over a 9th grader. You can only make up so much. And,
right.
Those are some things that we're looking at going into this week. But, our kids have gotten better every week, played hard, and I don't expect them to do anything any different Friday night. So,
no, sir. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that, we followed them all season, and we have noticed a lot of improvements and heard a lot of good things from some of your, competitive coaches about how hard you guys play. We're excited to see the matchup. We know it's a rivalry. Anything can happen in a rivalry game. you know, who are some players to watch on your team that we need to keep an eye on heading into this game?
Well, we got a little 9th grade running back, Trevor Morris, and 9th grade wide receiver and safety, Kobe Stringer, and Dylan Caraway's our quarterback, and he's got a brother, Dalton, and then we got some seniors that, you know, we got a few of those guys that give us good leadership, Logan Watkins and Cody M. Finger and Connor Casey's a junior, but there's several guys that, you know, they just all kind of blend together. I think we're starting an 8th grader, Garrett Traylor, and a 9th grader up on the offensive line. So those guys, you know, it's going to be a challenge for them, just playing against those bigger, more physical guys. But I'm looking forward to it to see, you know, how they respond to it.
Yes, sir, and it's got to be an invaluable experience for some of these younger guys that you mentioned, especially those playing both ways, to, you know, to get some experience against a good Ayrton team and be in this rivalry game, and it'll do nothing but help them in years to come.
Oh yeah, and it's you know, it's a big game for both schools. I mean, being the two towns are that close together, and you know, these families, they see each other all the time. Some of them go to church together, and it's, you know, it's good for them to be able to compete with each other on the field. And, you know, once it's over with, we all got to go back to being neighbors with each other again and trying to help each other out with all the things that's been going on with the storms and stuff like that. You know, it just makes these ball games not seem as big as what people may make them out to be on the grand scheme of it.
And I tell you, Coach, we do our best to cover as many of these rivalry games as we can. There was a great show of sportsmanship before the Brantley-Luverne game, you know, in regards to, you know, Alex and cancer awareness and that type of thing. And you're absolutely right that, you know, Hurricane Michael's brought so many of these communities together, and it's not about jersey color, you know, anymore. And I'm sure this is a great rivalry, and we look forward to some great sportsmanship as well as great action. You mentioned it's a big game. This is going to be the Car City game of the week. We're going to be live there. Be sure to tell all your players, family, and friends that the game will be on live. We hope they're there in the stadium to cheer you guys on. But if not, you know, check out our replay or, you know, share it with the people that can't be there. And we want to thank you again for joining us. If anything you got for us tonight before we go?
No, I'd just like to thank y'all for what you do for high school sports in this area. You know, there's college football is such a big deal, and, you know, the high school kids don't really get as much recognition, and they're doing it while their friends are off doing something that may be more fun. But, you know, I just appreciate you giving them an opportunity to have their name called and to, you know, get a little bit of publicity. You know, that means a lot to me for y'all to spend your time doing it, and I just want to let you know I appreciate y'all.
Well, we really appreciate it, and we're going to try to give those guys the credit that they deserve, and you guys as educators and teachers as well. Thanks, Coach. We look forward to seeing you. Coach Dunn, again, joining us from GW Long tonight. We appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you Friday night. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Y'all have a blessed night.
All righty. So, again, we want to appreciate him for coming online tonight. We will be live from Ayrton this Friday night, 7 o'clock. It'll be the Car City game of the week. We'll have live coverage of that starting at 7, as well as coverage from all the area action. You see some of the scores below, or games rather, that's going to be in the area. We'll keep you up with playoff implications and scores and highlights. We'll have both halftime shows for you. Be sure to check that out. Friday night, 7 o'clock live from Ayrton. I want to thank our sponsors tonight, Napa Auto Parts, Trojan Auto Parts for previewing the show, Hooks Barbecue for providing the food, and Car City for sponsoring this game of the week. We look forward to seeing you live Friday night from Ayrton, Alabama.
Trojan Auto